Okay, I am back. We had some technical difficulties with setting up ahead of time. So for now, I'm literally talking to myself. Hopefully y'all will come back or show up. I'm not really sure how. I will maybe click around and see what's happening over on my other place. Really not happy right now with YouTube at all. YouTube, you are not my friend. I'm just clicking around on another window to see what just happened. Yeah, we got 2 people here. Hey, say hello. 3. So we'll have a little delay here because YouTube decided to just do some weird stuff. I don't even know what just happened. I'm going to leave something here. Hang on, let me just leave a comment in the other room. You can see me where? Because I'm not here. Let me leave that link. We got 15 people here. Let me see if I can find the link to this. Send it to everybody sitting in the other room. And see what happens. Live YouTube, live anything is really, really tricky. So we'll just give it a few moments and just hang on just a moment and see who else comes by. And I should pin that or something at the top. Let me see if I can figure out how to pin that link to the other place. I don't know if there's a way to do that. Hang on. No. Oh, no. I can't remove my own. No, there is not. So there we go. I can see the comments. I see Style by Christina. I see Karen. This is a live video that's separate from the scheduled one. I know. I did not use my calming strategies because there was not enough time. I actually didn't get really nervous. I just was irritated. There's no way to get into the scheduled event. Maybe I need to just cancel it. I wish I could see what y'all are seeing. The problem is I'm signed into all my own stuff. So when I pop on a YouTube, I only see what the creator sees. I can't see what a subscriber sees. Hello, Maury. And my hair is, I don't know what's going on with my hair. So, okay. So there's about 49 of us, probably because only 50 people are interested in this. I'm wondering if part of this confusion is because there is some confusion. Just annoying. But hopefully people will be popping over. But there you go. So why don't we give it like a good 5 minutes and we'll just chit chat just a little bit. I had like the thumbnail. I had a description box with everything I was wearing in case people were curious about that sort of thing. Because inevitably I will get questions. It was kind of funny because when I popped on to do some administrative work, YouTube had actually flagged the video or the live stream as potentially unable to monetize because of the title. Because even though the F word wasn't spelled out, they had some concerns. So anyway, there are definitely some growing pains. I will research this a little bit more. YouTube does not have the best instructions on the back end, let's just say. And this is one of those books that honestly, and I'm going to repeat myself a few times, especially in the beginning as people hop in. This is one of those books that you don't need to read it to talk about it. The next book you will need to read because it's a novel. And if you don't read it, you'll have no idea who we're talking about or what's going on. But this is one of those books where it's more concepts. We'll all be sharing, hopefully, some things. We'll be going through some tips. I literally sat down and read this whole thing in one day. So you do not need to have read the book. Basically, you can just look at this flowchart that was sent to me by the publisher. And I will take a picture of it and post this on our Facebook book club page if you want to refer to it. This is pretty much the whole book, which obviously you're not going to you take a screenshot of this later. And then I don't know if this appears backwards on your screen. How I'm looking at it, it's completely backwards. And this is the book in a nutshell right here. So, but I will post this as well as Are You Doing You? And the life-changing magic of not giving a flip. Get your stuff together. So, and I am also just some little housekeeping notes as we get started. I will try my best for YouTube policies and in case someone is listening with children around to not actually say the F word, but it might slip out. And I'm assuming if you're here and have read the book that you do not have tender ears or tender eyes because your eyes would have fallen out of your head if you read the book. But the F-bomb might fall out, also the S-bomb. But I will try to say flip and stuff instead of the other two. Also, this is new territory for me, probably for all of you. I've gone to many book club book groups, but never live on a YouTube format. It's a little strange to be driving this bus basically by myself. So, and I definitely have ADD, so that I'm looking at myself is strange. Also over here, I have notes, I have the book. I have put a pretty hard cutoff at right about 4 o'clock, but because we started late, I'll let it run over a few minutes. But I would like to just, put a hard stop on this. We all have things we want to do. It's a Sunday afternoon. I'm appreciative that you took your time away from whatever it is you could be doing on a nice Sunday afternoon, assuming you're somewhere in the general United States area or whatever it is that you're doing. I should have had a glass of wine. This is just my usual strawberry fizzy water. Kind of thought about pouring a glass of wine and now I'm regretting it, but I don't want to get up and go get one now in the middle. Next time, we'll do wine or some other cocktail of your choice. I hope the rest of you are drinking an adult beverage. I wanted to keep my wits about me on this one. Okay, so calm the F down. Sarah Knight. I do have some general questions that I put out there on the internet that I thought to get your mind kind of started. And the first one was, she discusses the book's title, writing, "You'd be forgiven for thinking she's the world's biggest a-hole for titling her book as she has. Calm the F down. Why do you think readers might take umbrage with the book title? What did you think of it on first glance? What was your first impression? Did your opinion of the title change after you read the whole book? Why or why not?" So instead of me telling you what I think, because that's my channel, is me just telling you what I think all the time, does anybody want to start this off? Somebody, what was your first impression when I said, here's the book we're reading? What did you think? I can't see dislikes, so I have no idea what's going on. Okay, anyone? Okay, Christy says she thought it was a little bit obnoxious, but she got into it after reading it a bit. A common phrase in New York, extremely curious. I like what BG says. She listened, she thought she liked the dramatic flair of saying that. It's a great marketing tactic. F word started to get in the way of the message. I like how you said that. Can't put it on your book displays at the library. That is a really good point. So I'm going to get a few more. I hope everyone is reading the comments as well. Anyone else want to chime in as we're reading everybody else's comments too? I know this is hard. You're listening to me, you're reading, and you're typing. I'll give it a minute. So I will say a couple people sent me private messages very upset about the name of the book. And my response to them was to calm the F down. It's just words. But really, like, and that will lead me to a point that I want to make later about this book. I chose this book specifically because I don't read self-help books. I don't like self-help books. I generally find them to be very preachy, very like self-absorbed, very people who read them. I don't identify with this in my head version of people who read them. I feel like self-absorbed comes to mind. And I never thought that the message is lost because I'm just like, I can't be bothered with these kinds of books. And if you love this book, I apologize, but Eat, Pray, Love, to me, I got through maybe 2 chapters and I was like, get over yourself. You poor first world problems. I just can't deal with you. So that's just how I generally feel about self-help books. So this book, it's like, I don't take myself seriously. I know this is a serious problem, but let's not take everything so seriously. And I might be butchering the way I'm trying to get this message across, but I liked that. Okay, this is a serious problem, and I'm aware that this is a serious problem. And yes, I suffer from anxiety. I actually do. Not like clinical, real, like how she addresses in the book, like where you need to see someone and get some help anxiety, but specific situational anxiety, yes. But I really, truly feel like part of getting through life, even the really, really bad stuff, is you can't take any of it too seriously because that is life. And the bad stuff is going to happen. And you just have to keep going and find a way to get through it. And for me, that way is finding the humor in all of it, even the worst of it. Because the worst is going to happen. Like it's going to happen. We are all going to experience death. Like literally, and everything that comes before it. So if we can do it with some semblance of humor, maybe not in the middle of it, but like keep it in the back of your mind, having lived through some pretty horrible stuff that I'm not sharing on YouTube, then I can tell you it does help. However, sorry, I'm getting texts from my son. However, I felt like while it pulled me in that language, I could have gone without it going on and on and on and on. Like it got me, but then I'm like, it's enough. Like it's just like we can do without it. I get it. You're cool. You're using the F-bomb, but now it's enough. Like we can stop. Okay. Now, see, panic disorder is a real horrible thing. Like this is all real, but there's a difference between I wake up in the middle of the night. This is my version of anxiety. This is the anxiety I deal with. During the day, nothing bothers me. I'm cool as a cucumber. But I wake up in the middle of the night, 1:30, 2 o'clock, 3:30 in the morning, and I wake up, my heart is racing, my hands are cold and sweaty, my stomach is churning over the most ridiculous stuff that I know rationally in my head, if it were daylight, this would not be making me notice. I would not think about it. But in the middle of the night, it's, did my son get enough volunteer hours in? Did I remember to upload the video? Just like, and I will say to myself, Marty, this is ridiculous. Doesn't matter. So that's my anxiety. So this actually was sent to me by the publisher. And I was like, this is very weird and different. I'm gonna give this a go. And when I read it, I was like, this is something I think I need to share with everybody because I think this could actually help people get their arms around stuff that they're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. So it looks like we're all on the same page as far as like, yes, the title was like the attention grabber. This is excellent marketing. Clearly, because I think she's a bestseller, all of her books. So if you're a marketing major, take note. Welcome to menopause. I think this is with a side of night sweats. I think this is a combination of the age my children are and my age in life. I'm 40. If you don't know who I am, I should have started with this. I think you probably know who I am. My name is Marty Goldberg. I'm known as MsGoldgirl here on YouTube. And I'm 45. I'll be 46 next month. So I'm probably approaching menopause. And I have teenagers. A son who is 17, a senior in high school, and a son who is, well, he's not a teenager, 20, who is a junior in college. So those two together, this has been going on for about 3-4 years. So maybe 5. Okay. So, and I have dogs. Now I'm going to jump around because now that I'm not using my live stream that I had set up, I can't actually see the reading group questions that I had assigned you guys. One of the things was, did you actually try to use any of her tactics that she mentioned? Have you had the opportunity to try any of the tactics that she mentioned in the book? That I would like to know. And did it work? Sorry about the dog thing. Oh my gosh. And also someone literally just left a comment that says, this I have to share with you. You are one little waste of time. Brain fog. Thank you. Thanks, Eleanor. Okay. Okay. Book club at 2 a.m. Maybe not, maybe with a filter. Okay, Courtney, you run the book club. What was it? Oh, I get stuff like that every day. It's pretty funny. They need to calm the act down. You have to just laugh. Yes and yes. Wait, what was the thing? Categorizing. I clicked show. Okay. Did any of the examples that Knight included in her stuff people say in my Twitter feed are worried about? Wait, did Eleanor leave? I didn't see Eleanor leave. Okay. I'm not seeing everything y'all are seeing. Okay. Mental clutter. So I will just highlight a few of these techniques since not everybody read this book, and I wanted to highlight the ones that I really liked and one that I thought was like, I feel like she didn't do a really good job of explaining it at all. And I wanted it, I was very excited. I was very excited about it. So the first one that really got my attention was mental decluttering. Whereas you kind of sort it out. In my head, and I've talked about this before when I was saying like getting ready for an empty nest, I'm a big fan of lists. If you could see in front of me in my desk, I've got stuff written all over the place. For me, it really helps. It's like a mental dump. If I write it down, then it's happened or it's going to happen. If I don't write it down, it's not going to happen because I'm going to forget about it. Yes, I asked if you tried her ideas, but you didn't say which ideas you tried. So for me, it was mental decluttering. It was writing it down. Like to be specific, I'm looking at two things. What are you worried about specifically? Like, can you put a name to what you're worried about? Or you just if you have general anxiety disorder, this is not going to really help you. But if you can put a name to what you're anxious about, that really helps. Okay, Courtney, we're going to get to that next. That is next on. That is on deck. Thank you for that. So putting a name to what you're worried about, and then from there you can sort it. Is this likely to even happen? Like, I'm worried that that the earth is going to be hit by a satellite and we're all going to die. Probably unlikely to happen. We can put this over here. So once you've named everything and you can sort how likely to the least likely it's going to happen, and then into whether or not you can control it, was hugely helpful. And apparently Deborah feels that way as well. Judy is feeling like that. Do I have a soothing voice? I don't think so. But if you do, thank you. Shannon feels that way. For me, this was huge. Like I tried a Marie Kondo and it lasts for a week or two. Like seriously, I Marie Kondoed my closet. It's already a disaster. It lasted my pajama drawer lasted 2 weeks. 2 weeks and it's already, I can't shut the drawer. But it's really helped me to stop. The biggest thing that I've taken out of this whole book, and then we could just turn off the camera. We're done. Like this is the nugget I took out of this book. If I could just do this throughout my entire life in every situation, I would be the perfect human being. We all know this is not going to happen. If I could just pause before I do anything, before I speak, before I act, and take note and kind of categorize it, that would, all outcomes would be so much better. And I feel like that this book kind of is telling you to do that with your anxiety. Just take a moment, pause, declutter it, categorize it, examine it, like take the emotions out of it, take a step back, be very cold and calculated about it. Be very surgical. Go down that list. And then you're removed from the situation and you can look at it very clearly, very calmly, and you can get on with it. Now, have I tried that in the middle of the night yet? No, haven't had a panic attack yet since I read the book. So, but in general, when I'm starting to feel like a little bit anxious, this has worked for me. Now, I need to make this into some sort of big poster or plaque that I have in every wall in my house so I can remember to do this. And all the difficulty comes with those stressful jobs. Yes. See, that is true. Like when lives are on the line and things like that. I didn't. So a criticism of the book where I felt like her examples were not helpful. I wanted slightly more concrete examples that I could relate to. And I know when I'm going back to, for me, when she's talking about the 4 phases of freaking out, and mine is the anxious one in the middle of the night, I'm laying in bed, tossing and turning and freaking out. What if you get off that hamster wheel? What if I got out of bed, went into a different room so I don't wake up my husband, sat down at the kitchen table with a pad and paper and wrote it all out? That would probably help me with the next technique that I wanted to talk about, which really bothered me, which is tonight you meet tomorrow you. So in her technique, it's on page 108, if you have your book in front of you. It's tonight, so you're freaking out in the middle of the night. And I'm like, this is the most ridiculous suggestion. So you're freaking out about whatever in the middle of the night, and all you want to do is go to sleep. So you think it's genius? Okay, Judy, I don't want to talk anymore. I want to hear, please, I'm putting you on the spot, Judy McInerney. Explain why you think this is genius, because I could not get my head around this. I was so stuck. Because when I'm freaking out in the middle of the night, not only am I freaking out over the issue, I'm freaking out because I know I have something important to do the next day, and now I can't sleep. And so I know I'm going to be tired, and then that makes me even more stressed out. Okay, bye. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Why won't it let me do stuff? Oh, well. Hi, Becky. Okay, I think that, where'd she go? I feel like stuff disappears. Somebody retracted there. See, Judy's typing. Okay. So while she's typing, Judy's probably typing. I can't tell. This tonight you meet tomorrow you concept is that you're supposed to just tell yourself while you're freaking out in the middle of the night, listen, don't worry about it. Tonight, your job is to go to sleep. You'll deal with it tomorrow. Duh. What? And that's supposed to work? Like, this does not seem to me helpful at all. The author feels like this is like her best idea ever. I did keep reading. I couldn't figure it out. Like, I clearly missed something. I mean, she says it worked. That she shifted her focus from not being able to do the only thing she badly wanted to do doing the only thing she could do? No. There's nothing, so she's saying there's nothing you can do about just accept it and hold on to it until the morning. So you have to you have to do the acceptance part. That makes, Judy, you just explained it to me so much better. Okay, I get it. Now I get it. I like that. I'm better at actual concrete. I need to do something. Yeah. I'm not real good at like acceptance. That's like a personal problem, like a personality flaw. I'm more of like I have to physically do something. So a pause is a perfect strategy. Yeah, I guess it goes together. The tomorrow example is more like that as to wait for tomorrow is a pause. That's true. Isn't it funny how when it's dark at night, your mind the rational mind just completely abandons you? Okay. Well, thank you for totally making that tonight you meet tomorrow you an actual workable strategy now. It goes with the pause of an acceptance. Like, this is my reality. Accept it. There's nothing you can do right now. Put a pin in it, as they like to say, and deal with it tomorrow. Where it's not like a Scarlett O'Hara moment where it's like tomorrow's another day. You know you're going to deal with it, but there's really nothing you can do at 3 o'clock in the morning. Unless it's an issue going on in Australia. Okay. So let's see what else we can talk about. There's a whole thing about placing blame and does it help? And this was something that I recently, can you see my, sorry, a little distraction there. It's okay. You know what? Before we're all over the place, but someone just brought up something and I'd rather talk about what y'all want to talk about. And it's avoidance, which is something that is talked about in the book. And it's actually sometimes I think isn't a horrible thing to do. I think I paused. Okay. Avoidance can be a good thing or a bad thing. So sometimes you need to take your mind off of it. And as we just discussed, that could be getting up out of bed, writing it down, and going back to sleep. But someone else just mentioned you need a distraction. So for me, I go find a book, not this book, but like a fiction book. And I have to read just to take my mind off of it. And I read until I fall asleep. Unfortunately, like Shannon, that usually happens to be like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the mornings when I finally fall asleep. And then the alarm goes off at 6 and then I'm a zombie for the rest of the day. But that's where I get to the acceptance. I just accept I will be fine. I can live with a little sleep deprivation for a day or two. It's not the end of the world. Okay. So the other part of avoidance that's not good is we actually make the problem worse. This is something I do by procrastinating and not dealing with it. So what I really like, what the author suggested was a very concrete way of dealing with something. She said, set multiple reminders on your phone so that you have to deal with it. The only time I think avoidance is good is specifically when you're having a panic attack in the middle of the night and you can't get your mind to stop thinking about it. Then it's good to just, I don't know if avoidance or just distraction is the better word there. No, like I said, since I've read this book, I haven't had a wake up in the middle of the night freak out moment, but I like this idea of, and again, this might help me fall back asleep if I go, okay, this is the problem. This is how I'm going to fix it. I'm going to set a reminder at 7:30 tomorrow morning to call XYZ and talk about the problem, or to do whatever it is I need to do. And I'm going to set another reminder at 8:15 and another reminder at 9:30 and maybe 4. And that way I force myself to get it done. I think the moral of the story is make a plan and do it. But as someone who doesn't have other forms of anxiety, I guess if people feel comfortable sharing their own forms of anxiety, does this work? I mean, I don't want to make it seem so trivial. Does this work for other people in their own forms? Let's see. My panic is always irrational. Wake up, dress up, get there, and never give up. I can't believe there are 221 people here. The multiple timer thing. I really love reading what y'all are saying. I mean, I understand that the stuff that I'm worried about is very trivial. Like, nothing is important. And that some of you are worrying about very important things. Yes, procrastinating never makes anything better. See, Judy again is a very wise woman, and she's got a really true, I don't know if it's anxiety or true fear, like having to have a difficult conversation with your boss would, to me, be like my heart is hurting a little bit just thinking about it. That would cause me anxiety. That is something that I've told friends of mine who have been upset about, they're crying to me about something they're upset about, and they keep saying, I know it's trivial in the scheme of things, nobody's dying. And I keep saying, yeah, but it's your life. And to you, it's important, and that's really all that matters, I guess. You know, I mean, at the moment, that is the most important thing. Things that I worry about at night. Okay, so here I will share the latest, which is literally the stupidest thing, okay? Like the stupidest thing. So if you don't know, my son Shane, senior in high school, there's this thing called the President's Volunteer Service Award. And you get it for volunteering a certain number of hours. And it's set, to get the award, you have to have a certain amount of hours, which is set by age. Yes, Christy, that. And Shane and Jake is my older son. Shane has qualified for at least the minimum award every year since, I don't know, 3rd grade, maybe. And this year, I don't think he's going to qualify. Usually he qualifies, he gets the bulk of his hours because he is an assistant Sunday school teacher. And instead of getting paid, he chooses to volunteer to do that. But they changed up the program halfway through the school year, and they switched the days. And so they switched it to Saturday mornings instead of Sunday mornings. Well, he works now, and he works on Saturday mornings. So, and sometimes Sundays too. So it will take, and all the hours are due in the middle of March. And so I don't think he's going to qualify to get the award. So a couple weeks ago, woke up in the middle of the night, just completely panicked, like, oh my God, he's not going to get it. His brother got it every year. He's gotten it every year. All of his friends, not all of his friends, like 3 of his friends are getting it. I can't believe all this work, all these years of his life. in the last year that he could possibly get, he's not going to get it. Okay, really, Marnie? Like right now as I'm talking to you, who cares? Like who freaking cares? I don't really care. I know he's a good person. He's already in college. He's still volunteering all the time. It's just not enough to qualify for the award. And the job he's doing, he's working at the YMCA, which is a nonprofit, whatever. My point is, does this have any effect on him as a human being? No. Like I'm laughing at myself because I know in the light of day that is just the dumbest thing ever. Also, I don't think he cares at all. I haven't even discussed this with him yet. Like that's literally on my list on my notepad here of things to do. Doesn't care. And I mean, I think if I asked Jake, his older brother today, he wouldn't even remember what PVSA is. Yeah. So I can laugh at myself. And actually, in the middle of this freak out, I was literally in my head, this may be a sign of maybe mental illness, telling myself, Marnie, what is wrong with you? You are insane. You are a crazy person. But there I was. So, like, you don't have to tell me any of this. I know all these things, but this is the shit that runs through my head in the middle of the night. Yes, Robert, one of the things that went through my head is I will be judged as a parent if I am not there because my kid didn't do it. Right. So. I mean, and then I think, I can control it because I could help him find volunteer hours and he gets out of school early now. And then I'm like, wait, no, this isn't my problem. And this is not my job. He's almost a grown up. Like this has got to be important to him. And anyway, whatever. I know all these things. Yeah. The F-bucks. Thank you, Rachel. Let's get back on track. She talks about F-bucks, the cost of the worry, etc. Is it where you want to spend your energy? That is a really good question. F-bucks. I wish you would have come up with a different term because I have a perverted mind and I think of just something else entirely. But yeah. You're right. I should not have wasted any F-bucks about that moment. Freak out funds. Yes. Good night, Esther. What time is it? Okay, we have time. You know what, Kimberly? That is a really good point. She said it might be just general anxiety with the loss of control as my baby leaves the nest. Huh. Wow. See, okay. And that is something else that she did not add in her book, but I think is really important. And I think women are better about doing this than men. And that is that it's important to have a circle of friends or one or two friends. Excuse me, I need to burp. Okay. That it's the soda. That you talk about this weird stuff that goes through your head so you can kind of role play and bounce ideas off of each other so that they can tell you when you're being an idiot in a nice, polite way or give you an insight that you would not have thought of yourself. And then when your sons marry, I know. You guys are cracking me up. So, again, I didn't really like the concept of, what did we decide to call them? Freak out funds until y'all renamed it. I appreciate that. Okay, there was something else I wanted to bring up. Back to the book. Let's steer it back. This actually was a gift from a YouTuber, Lisa J. Just going to give a little shout out. When I drove her to the Reward Style conference last year, and she didn't need to, but she gave me this as a little present. And we're driving back together this year, so that'll be fun. Okay. Anyway, so I liked how she put this in perspective. She said, getting your stuff together is proactive, but dealing with stuff is reactive. And I would much rather be proactive than reactive. But how do you get your stuff together ahead of time? That's the next book, because I don't really think that you really addressed, lists, I guess. Is it like a what if situation? Do you start like anticipating all the stuff that could freak you out ahead of time? I did not like the choose your own adventure. Although I did and I didn't, because if they did lose my luggage, I would freak the flip out. I absolutely would. And I would lose it, and I would go straight to somewhere and buy everything I could get my hands on. I would. I'm just reading some comments. Oh, if I had to grade this book that's hard. I hate saying anything too bad about a book, because it's really hard to write a book. And I could never do it. So, and it is a best-selling book, but here's what I like. I like that the author took a subject that could be very serious, and that people who really need it might shy away from a book like this, and it drew people in, and it started a conversation. It started a conversation that several of us are having right now. So I really, really, really like that. And I think it's going to have a conversation that continues. But I felt like I would have liked more concrete examples. I felt like it was a little bit repetitive. Good point, Robert. I don't think it would be. I'd say like a B plus A minus, because obviously it's got a lot of people talking and maybe taking a good look at themselves, and if it takes one good if you take one good takeaway out of this and it helps you lessen your anxiety, then it's all worth it, right? So maybe I would give it an A. I think I'd give it an A, because that's what it's supposed to. That's what you're supposed to. That's the whole point. It says right here on the front, right? How to control what you can and accept what you can't, so you can stop freaking out and get on with your life. She said that's what it's going to do, and I feel like it did, and so I'd have to give it an A for that. Yeah. I think the whole point of this book, if you take the language out, this is the last thing I wrote in my notes, is to just take a different approach to your worrying. It's to take out the emotion, just be pragmatic about it. And that's really helpful, because the whole thing about worrying is it's 100% emotion. And I do have to say, before we get off track again, that I actually did have a tarantula in my house. And I did freak the flip out, because it was not a pet. And it's a funny story. It's brief. I will just share it with you very briefly. I live in Texas, San Antonio, Texas, and they are indigenous here. They're just like out in the wild. And we had just moved into this house, and so obviously we had doors open, movers in and out, and so things could just walk in. And not in my shoe. Couldn't fit in my shoe. It was too big. And so we'd had movers in the day or two before, and then Michael went to work, my husband, and we have a big foyer, and I came out into the foyer, and I saw it was at the base of the stairs. It's like that big. Yeah. And I was like, holy, like every curse word you could imagine. Yeah. And here's how I decided to deal with it. I called my husband. Who his office is downtown. We're on the far north side. It's like a good 25-minute drive, at least 30 minutes. And I'm like, you need to come home. you need to come home. And he's like, oh, are you kidding? It's my first day at work. I'm like, you need to come home and kill this. I'm not dealing with this. And he's like, you're going to need to get a paper towel and just squish it. I go, I do not think you understand what we are dealing with. This is not a paper towel situation. He's like, you're going to have to figure something out. You're an adult. You're the mother of 2 children. I'm not leaving work to get this thing. So I was like, you're right. Okay. I needed that freak out moment. And then I was like, so I opened the front door, I got a broom, and I just swept that out the door. Closed the door, defaulted it, and that was it. You cannot squish something that, like, I wasn't going to whack it because I didn't want it to, splatter. So that's my tarantula story. We've had other tarantula stories, but they've been in the backyard, like out by the pool. So it's fine. They can live outside. They eat bugs. I don't really care. I don't want it to die. I just don't want it to eat me and stuff. So anyway, it would not fit in a vacuum. There is no way. It's like that. Yeah. So I will just tell you that when you are faced with, here's the deal. In our heads, we can worry all day long and panic and have physical tremors and sweats and throw up and all that stuff. But when you're faced with the reality, I guarantee each and every one of you, all 230 currently watching and anyone who bothers to watch after, I promise you, you can handle whatever life throws at you. I promise you. Promise you. When you are faced with the reality of a situation, we will all be able to step up to the plate. I know this to be true, whether it's a tarantula, whether it's you get a call that your child has to be rushed to the hospital immediately, and you think there's no way I'm able to handle it. Yes, you can. Whether it's you have to go speak in front of a huge crowd of people. Yes, you can. You can do it. Dig a hole. Emotion kept me from dealing. Yeah. Anticipation is far worse than the reality almost every time. I should announce the next book in this video. What is the author's name? Hang on, let me Google it really fast because I've just had a complete mental fart. And I'm a little embarrassed. Hang on. Nope, that's not it. What is it? Hold on, it's on my Kindle. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm so sorry. Maureen, hang on. Sorry. Where is it? I'm gonna stay calm and scroll. What the flip is her name? There it is. The author's name is Julie Mulhern, and the first book is The Deep End. Yes, everybody come on over. I'll just put out my address. I'm just kidding. I wish I could. Oh, wouldn't that be so fun? You cannot fit in my house. But it would be really fun to do this in person and probably it would be way more fun than this. This is a little weird, admittedly. Yes, the next book is The Deep End. It's part of the Country Club Murder series. It's the first book in the series. It's by the author Julie Mulhern. If you are not a mystery reader, give it a try. I picked it because it is not an older book, but it is a book set in the early 70s. So it deals with a different time period, a different way of looking at relationships between men and women and sex. And there's a lot of references to the fashion of that time and social mores and elitism and all kinds of social issues. There is a murder, but it's deeper than just, oh, it's a fun little mystery. So The Deep End, Julie Mulhern, you got it first. So I think that it's going to be a good read. And I mentioned it in, I think, my January favorites, December, January favorites. And funnily enough, the author emailed me a couple weeks ago and said, I heard that you, someone who follows you also follows me and mentioned that, and told me you mentioned me. Would you like a copy of the book? I was like, yes, I would. So I bought the Kindle version, but it'll be kind of exciting to have like a physical copy. So, hopefully you'll join me for that. And it'll be a little more like a traditional book club book where we have like a reading group guide and all that stuff. And we talk about a little more specifics, but, yes, we can get through anything in life. We have this, yes. So I know a signed copy. I'm really excited. I have a few. I have a Deborah Harkness signed copy of Discovery of Witches too. But anyway, I know that this was a little bit weird and a little frenetic and kind of off to a rocky start with the technical difficulties. And so I really do appreciate everyone. I don't know what she's doing back there. With everyone sticking around, all 200 of you. And I really do like that it's a small group. Like, it makes it easier to get my hands around it. But I would love if we could share more next time. Rosemary, this will be saved. So once it's done rendering or whatever it is that YouTube does to live videos, you can go back and watch. Oh, a date for book club. I don't know. Hang on. You know what? I don't know. I did pick this Sunday time first, but let's go towards the end of March, but maybe we'll do it like on an evening just so that we can mix it up a little bit for the people who couldn't do it on a Sunday afternoon. So let's just say, I don't know for sure. Oh, crud. Let me check my calendar to be sure. I'm looking at all my calendars. I'm going to announce the book also in my February favorites, but I'm leaning towards March 28th. I don't have anything at the moment, like in the evening, like say 8 o'clock in the evening. That might be really late for some people. I'm sorry. I can't be at do time travel, but 8 o'clock, kind of sort of in the middle. I don't know if I'm going to do this every month going forward. Like maybe we'll do it quarterly or every other month. We'll kind of see how it works for you guys. Yeah, I try to click on these dots to make things go away and nothing is happening. So I'm very disappointed with YouTube on this one. So that kind of stinks. And I don't know that I will do a video in place of a regular video next time. Does that make sense? Maybe we'll do it on a Friday night once in a while, or, I'll still have my regular scheduled videos and then we can do this on the side. I don't know if it's going to be monthly or not. It's up to you all, how it goes. So Deep End, The Deep End, Julie Mulhern. It won't even let me pin comments. Look at, watch. The Deep End by Julie Mulhern. All I do is there's only the option I hit send. I hit the 3 dots. Nothing. I'm leaning towards Thursday night. It's a little tricky. Is that Easter weekend? I don't think so. So Thursday, March 28th in the evening, kind of tentatively. We'll see. It might be. Oh, it worked? I mean, I know you can see it, but I don't know that it pinned. I'm just going to stay calm because I can't control it. So there's nothing I can do about it. So there you go. I'll put it in the Facebook group. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look for MsGoldgirl on Facebook. MS as in Ms. And there's a book club group in there, and ask to join it, and I'll let you in if you're not a troll. And I'll put that info there. And then I'll also announce it when I film my February favorites, which will go up March 1st. And that should give you plenty of time to read this book. It's not that hard. See you March 28th. Hopefully you'll see me before then. So that's about it. I said I'd go past 4 o'clock, but really, do we need to, how much more do we need to talk about? Anybody have anything else they'd like to chat about for 3 more minutes? Anyone? I can't always read a book in a day. Let me be very clear. This one, I said, I need to get this done. I sat down and read it. This isn't the hardest book to knock out in a few hours, granted. Also, I work for myself. I can schedule my day around what I need to do. And I don't have young children at home. Let's be very clear. Right? So I appreciate that luxury. So some days I'm crazy busy during the day, and some days not so much. It just sort of depends on what's going on between work and personal life. So Friday was crazy busy. But I'll tell you what I'm doing today. Or this evening. This evening, I don't know how to pronounce this. You know those Japanese, they're like sticky rice dough that encase ice cream balls? Is it mochi balls? We're making those. I don't know how to pronounce them, but we're making them at home. Gluten-free, dairy-free. Balls. Oh, thanks, Shannon. That's really sweet. Yeah, we got a bunch of really cool gluten and dairy-free ice cream flavors, and I got the rice flour, and Shane and his girlfriend are coming over later, and Shane lives here, but they're coming over later, and we're going to attempt to make them at home. I found a couple of recipes on the internet, and we know how accurate the info on the internet is. And then I'll be washing my hair. It's Sunday. It's a hair washing day. I probably, for your sake, should have washed my hair before book club, but whatever. So, I'm not doing. Oh no way, Christy! That's just what a small world. Well, they're Reagan, so there'll be no more vlogs for a little while, people. So I'm not going to vlog that. I haven't done any subscription boxes. Trisha Lynn, Michael and I go to Whole Foods all the time and get them. But they're not dairy free, so Shane can't eat them. So we decided to make them ourselves. So that Shane could. And I don't know how to flavor the dough. I couldn't find any recipes. Oh, bronzer. Okay, so what's the bronzer today? Marc Jacobs bronzer, and the blush is Tarte Exposed, and the highlighter is Maybelline Master Chrome. Way to rock the high and low. And I tried a new eyeshadow technique, and I think it's a little much for a Sunday afternoon. I'm not going to lie. Oh, no, there was something I could do. I could have washed my hair. But you know what? I decided to take a nice leisurely bath instead and not deal with it. So I just didn't give an F. I will say this. Okay, we're at 4:01. I'm going over. The whole time I was reading the book, and I don't know if this happened to anybody else, I kept hearing the song from Erica Jane, How Many F's Do You Give? 0, none. Oh, thank you. This is from Anthropology. There it is. Which Westie is this? Hi, Mimi. I have 2. This is a Michelle watch. Dude, I'm not shaking it. Do you see this? Do you see this? I've been married for 22 years, dude. Just let it go. Okay. Anyway. Really? Just gross. That is Mimi. Wrigley likes to just sit on top of the couch and survey his kingdom. Have I seen her new palette yet? No. Oh, Erica Jane Girardi, whomever. I have not. But have you watched the first episode of Beverly Hills? Because that's important. No? Okay. Well, on that note, oh, Rowdy, you want to come say hi? Rowdy, come on. There's another dog. Oh, dude. No, he doesn't want to come say hi. I don't know. He has to go. I'm going to say goodbye because it's just going somewhere, a direction I don't want to go. And it was lovely to see all of you and all that good stuff. I think Mimi is into looking at herself in the mirror. I'm not sure what's happening there. And I am getting sick of looking at myself. So I'm going to say goodbye. Enjoy what's left of your day. I'm going to go figure out how to make those mochi balls. I think you have to pre-freeze the little balls of ice cream. So I'm going to get on that and get to reading. You have over a month. So I know you can do it. Remember Facebook and all that good stuff. You can follow me there. You can subscribe to me on my YouTube channel. I love y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out with this slightly awkward book club. And I will see you in the next time. How do I end this? Oh, that's how I do it. Okay, bye.